today from the Coldplay's appearance at Glastonbury last night. I don't know how many of you out there watched that or have seen it since, but I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I don't know why I'm mentioning that first. Let's talk about today's puzzle, which is Mislabeled Killers by CaptZebraCakes, and you've all been recommending this one to us. An exceptionally cool rule set. Which I'll read to you in a moment or two's time, rather than trying to sort of stumble haphazardly through it immediately. But this has it doesn't have a 100% approval rating on Logic Masters Germany. It has a 98% approval rating, but I think it has been at 100% for quite a while. And some of the comment, I love this comment from SM Kinley. Oh, no, S. McKinley, I should say. Tragedy. This isn't still at 100% rating. Awesome puzzle. And you can see, if we used to scan down some of the names who have commented, there are some very well-known Sudoku names in that list, all saying this puzzle is brilliant. So this is what we're going to have a go at. I think it's got 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty. And yeah, we'll have a go at this in a moment or two's time. Now, other things to mention. It is the end of June. The end of June is upon us. If you're in the northern hemisphere, the days are getting shorter. Isn't that a depressing thought? Anyway, that means tomorrow, a less depressing thought is that over on Patreon we have a brand new competition starting. It's Paws is Sudoku Hunt, which is we've deliberately put this in July, holiday month, because it should be accessible to everybody, this hunt. It's full of lovely little puzzles, mostly 6x6 puzzles, very approachable. So if you are new to variant Sudoku, you should be able to finish this hunt if you give it a few moments of your attention. It's a lot of fun, and definitely commend it to you. It will be released at 4 p.m. tomorrow UK time over on Patreon, so do check it out. I didn't get a chance yesterday to do any more of my solution videos for the Lord of the Rings Sudoku hunt, which was of course Blobs' treat. Oh my goodness, what's going on there? Let's put that down there. Blobs' treat for us in June. But that's still on Patreon, so if you haven't had a go at that, you really should, because that is sensationally good. But I might get a chance to record the last couple of videos later on today with a fair wind. What else? I've got quite a few birthdays to do today. I know that. There was something else I was going to say. Yeah, there's our free 600,000 subscriber Sudoku pack. That is available on Patreon, not behind the paywall at all. That's got some wonderful puzzles in it. Loads of you loving that. We may indeed stream ourselves solving that at some stage, because we made sure that only one of us tested each puzzle. So we'll be able to. We hopefully will be able to do a stream at some point where we can each try and solve the ones that we haven't already solved, if you see what I mean. But birthdays, let's do some of those. In fact, the first one isn't a birthday. It's a message, a congratulatory message for Jordan from your fiancée Megan, who let us know that you have finished training now to become a thoracic surgeon. Congratulations. My goodness, I don't know how long that must take. I'm guessing a very long time, but Jordan is through it. Well done. A cause for celebration and a cause perhaps for chocolate cake. Next, Ben, you've turned 27 today. Down there in London, well, not far from me, I suppose. I know this because your partner Anna wrote to us describing you as a wonderful person and somebody she feels very lucky to have in her life. And she hopes this message makes up for the lack of chocolate cake. I don't know why you're not getting chocolate cake, Ben. That's outrageous, but I hope you have a very happy birthday. Next, Andrew. Not very close to London, but actually close to Niagara Falls, apparently. It's your birthday today. I hope you have a brilliant birthday too. Bunny, you turned 19 a couple of days ago, and you sent us a picture of your chocolate cake. Now that does look good. I can't quite detect what the ratio of icing to cake is, but it does look like it might be the correct ratio of 1:1. That's fantastic. So Bunny, I hope you enjoyed your birthday and your cake, turning 19. Next, what does... Oh, Jack. Jack, this isn't a birthday, but I just wanted to shout out and say thank you for sending us the kind email that you sent us. I'm glad our videos help. and well done on now beating the New York Times hard puzzle daily in under 5 minutes. That's a good effort. That is a good effort. And apparently that's been done by watching our videos. So actually we don't do very many classic Sudokus anymore. But I pretty much guarantee that if you can do the puzzles in these videos, it will definitely help your classic Sudoku technique. And then finally, Jeremiah, you've turned 25 today. And I know this because your girlfriend, Dellen, I hope I'm pronounced that right. Could be Delen or no, Dellen, I think. Dellen. I'm going to go for Dellen. I hope that's right. She wanted to send you some birthday love. So Jeremiah, I hope you get that love and I hope you have a brilliant day today. Many happy returns. And with that said and done, I'm not sure there's anything else I need to mention. I can distract myself from the football game that's about to start by recording this video at 4:34 this afternoon. These are the rules of Mislabeled Killers by CaptZebraCakes. They are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Every cage is a killer cage where digits cannot repeat. The 2-digit pill in each cage forms a 2-digit number when read from left to right, and this 2-digit number represents the sum of a different killer cage, i.e. a 2-digit pill value cannot be the sum of the cage that contains that pill. No 2 killer cages have the same sum. So what does that mean? It means that we have to put numbers. So let's look at this example here. So we're going to fill... Oh, that graphic looks weird. We're going to fill these 2 squares with numbers. I'm going to try and pick something reasonable. I don't know. Let's pick 26. Is that a silly total? I don't know. Let's put 26 in there. Now, what does that mean? That means that another cage in this puzzle, maybe that one, contains digits that sum to 26 without repeating a digit. But we don't know which cage it is that would sum to 26. So yes, it could be... Well, all we'd know is it's not that cage. It's very odd. So, yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant title, actually, because that's exactly what it is. We normally in Killer Sudoku, of course, we'd get a little clue in the top left-hand corner of the cage that would tell us the sum of the digits in the cage. Here, we get pills which label a different cage, so absolutely opposite. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play Let's Get Cracking. Now, I can see... well, no, okay, I can see something, but I'm not sure how useful it is. Okay, so I'll start with the thing I can see, which is that this little cage here, well, it's not really a little cage, it's actually the maximum size of cage it could possibly be, because it is a 9-cell cage. And if you have been following Cracking the Cryptic for any length of time, you will know that we know the sum of the digits in this cage, because if you can't repeat a digit in this cage, it must contain every single one of the 9 Sudoku digits, and therefore this is a secret I tell only my very favourite people. If you're watching the video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. This cage must sum to 45. That is the sum of the numbers 1 to 9. But what I was about to... Well, my first reaction was I had to put 4 and 5 in here, but that's actually wrong, isn't it? Because although this cage does sum to 45... what that's actually telling us is that some other pill contains a 45 total, not this, explicitly not this one. I actually wonder if this is about geometry though, because if we actually just look at those digits for a moment and ask where they go in box 6, we know where they go there. And that's because these digits can't repeat in their own cage, and they can't repeat in their own row either. So that domino goes in those 2 squares, and that digit indeed. Now, this digit, where does this go in box 6? Well, it can't repeat in its cage, and it's not a green digit, because if it was a green digit, it would have repeated in its cage, just not in box 6. So these 2 digits are the same. Sorry, let me just think about that for a second or two. So whatever we put in these 2 cells is the sum of a different cage. Okay, all the other cages that are not this cage. Well, this is the next largest cage in terms of size. This is a 6-digit cage. So the maximum size of a 6-digit cage is 39. And that we could achieve 39 by missing out the lowest numbers we could. So if we made those squares 1, 2, and 3, this would be a 39 cage. So one of the pills is okay, right. So what we should do is not think about. We should think about the tens digits, shouldn't we? In each pill. Right, I'm going to label the tens digits with 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s, but only one of them can be a 4, and it's not that one. Because each of these pills is giving the sum of a cage in the puzzle. There is one cage that sums to 45. The next largest cage is this one, but the maximum size of the digits in this cage would give us a 39 total. So no cage other than the 45 cage has a total that begins with a number greater than 3. So although I've labelled these all as 1, 2, 3 and 4, only one of these is a 4. And the rest of them, it looks like it's trying to give me a triple here, doesn't it? Where these digits would just be a 1, 2, 3 triple. And that would happen unless one of these is a 4. But if one of them is a 4, it's a 45. So that would be a 4 and a 5. I'm not sure what that's doing. Let me just think now about the units digit. The units digit is not under any pressure, I don't think. Because, yeah, I mean, the cage totals could be anything. We get a given 6. It can't be important, can it? Well, it probably is important at some stage, but I don't think it's likely to be important at the start. That can't be the 45 cage. Right, that can't be the 45 cage, because if it was, then that cage would sum to 9, and that would mean another pill would have to be a 0-9 cage, and 0 is not a Sudoku digit. So this cage begins... Oopsie, sorry. So this cage begins with... Yeah. Hang on. This cage begins with a tiny digit, yet must sum to... It must sum to a double-digit number. It must sum to 12. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's weird. It's actually quite clever. Not of me, by CaptZebraCakes. I will say, I'm sure I said this, I've done a puzzle by CaptZebraCakes before. And CaptZebraCakes is an extraordinarily good pseudonym. Unless it's your real name, CaptZebraCakes, in which case, kudos. But look, this cage... it can't add up to a single digit total. It can't, because none of these, each of these is obviously a number. Well, yes, in fact, the way to think about this is that what is the minimum value of a pill? Well, you could put a 1 in the tens digit, but then you couldn't put another 1 in the units digit. So the absolute minimum value of any pill is 12 if you put 1 in the tens digit and you put 2 in the units digit. How could this cage add up to any less? Well, how could it add up to any more than 12? It can't. The only way to make it even add up to 12 is a very specific way. That has to be 3, that has to be 9. So this is a 30, no, this is, well, this is a 3 and a 9. There is a 39 cage now somewhere, which is not this one. There's a 39 cage. Oh, that could be the 39 cage. No. Yes. Right. Okay. So there is a 39 cage. Which cage is the 39 cage? Given it can't be this one because that's a 45 cage. 39 requires a 6-cell cage. Because you certainly can't make 39 in a 5-cell cage, because even if you put the numbers 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5 into a 5-cell cage, you'll only make them add up to 35. So this cage is a 39 cage. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, this is absolutely beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful, because now this cage must be the 39 cage, which means these squares have to be the digits 1, 2 and 3, because that's the only way, given that the whole box adds to 45 and we have to miss 3 digits out to make this cage add up to 39. Those digits must be 1, 2 and 3 adding up to 6. That makes this a 4, which means this is indexing a 45 cage, because there is only one 45 cage, or only one cage that adds up to a number that begins with a 4 in its tens digit. So that is the 45 cage. So this cage is in... This cage indexes this. This cage indexes this. Now every single other tens digit is not a 4. This square is not a 3 by Sudoku. And one of these cages is a 12 cage, because this cage does add up to 12. So there needs to be a 12 cage somewhere. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple, which is what we thought might happen, which means that there is another cage, there's at least one other cage in this puzzle that adds up to a 30 number. Because one of these is a 3. That is not that can't add up to 30. In fact, well, okay. Right. Well, which is, yeah, one of those digits is a 3. I know that's a somewhat fatuous thing to say, but it's true. And that means that there is a cage in this puzzle which is not this cage and it's not this cage, that is capable of containing digits that add up to at least 31, I suppose. Well, no, maybe. Yeah, maybe 31, if that was 3 and that was 1. Yeah, at least 31. Now, which cage is that? 31. You can't do 31 in 4 cells, because the maximum you can put into 4 cells is 6, 7, 8, 9, which is only 30. So we need a 5-cell cage. Now that could be this one, or this one, but it's not this one, because this cage, rather prettily, none of those digits there can be a 9. So the maximum they can be is 8, 7, 6, and 5, and they add up to 26. So 26 plus 1 or 2 is not 30. So this cage is not the 30 cage. So either this cage is 30 or this cage is 30, or both. Now, that's, well, I don't know how we do that, to be honest. We could argue that I don't even know where we can look to argue that. How do we? So one of these cages has a lot of high digits in it. That is true. Because if we make, well, to make that cage add up to 30, yeah, this is weird. So if this is a 3, let's just think of this through. If this is a 3, this is a 30 number. So this has to add up to 30, but that digit will be very, very low. So these digits would have to be very, very high. I think it's the same if that's a 3. If that's a 3... No, it's not the same. Right. Oh, okay. This is very this is really interesting and not at all obvious, at least not to me. Right. I don't think this can be. Yeah, this is hard to explain. But one of these digits is a 3. And that tells us that there is a cage in this puzzle, which is not this one or this one, that contains digits summing to at least 30 something. Now, let's say this was the actual 3. That would mean this was the cage that added up to 30 something. Now that's impossible, I've realised, because if that is the 3, what's this digit? Well, it's at least 4, isn't it? Because it can't now be 1, 2, or 3. But now this digit becomes too low, if you see what I mean. Because this cage now, this would be the cage that had to add up to 34, but that digit is too little. It's only going to be a 1 or a 2, and the maximum they can be is 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this could add up to 32, but it can't add up to 34. So it's got to be the other way round. So the way it works is that this is the cage that adds up to 30 something, but this is the 3. So this pill indexes this cage. Now that's not a 3. So yeah, okay. So this digit now, well, yeah, the maximum these 4 squares could be is a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. If these were a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple and that was a 2, then this would be a 32. So that digit is a 1 or a 2 because we cannot make this cage add up to any more. So now I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in row 5. I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in column 5. This cage, well, are those 2 digits the same then? No, they aren't. Not necessarily. Because this could be, if this was 5, 7, 8, 9, these would add to 29. And then that could be a 2 and that could be a 1. Yeah, 31. You could make 31 if this is a 2, if this is 5, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, yeah, okay. So, but, right, okay, but how many other... Yeah, so we know this cage adds up to 30 something. how many other cages in this puzzle could add up to 30 something now? This is important because it's going to allow me to take options out of these things. Yeah, but we've worked out this cage. Well, this pill indexes this cage. This W pentomino here, even if this was 7, 8, 9, plus 3 plus 2, that's only 29. It's not enough to get to 30. So, and this can't add up to 30. We've already looked at that. This is far too small. This is too small. This is too small. No other cage in the puzzle can add up to 30. So this can't be a 3, this can't be a 3, and this can't be a 3. So, okay, now I've got a 1-2 pair in column 5, so that's a 3. Right, where is 3? I mean, CaptZebraCakes, what are you playing at? Making me do Sudoku in your Sudoku puzzle. I've only had 26 minutes. Shouldn't be doing it yet. 3. Can't repeat 3 in a cage. So 3 is in one of those 3 positions. 3. We might be able to prove whether these are the same or different now. That one is the same as that one. Yeah, okay, so that, oh, this is good. This is actually beautiful. I can see exactly what this is doing. Right, let me just get rid of blue and get rid of purple for a moment. Let's reuse blue and purple. Let's make this digit purple. Well, we can see this digit now is not purple. So I'm going to call it blue. But that means in this box, that digit is the same as that digit, doesn't it? And that means that digit is blue, which means that digit is purple. And now look. The units digit in this is the same as this units. Let's imagine when I say this is a units digit, let's imagine this is 31. That's telling us that this cage adds up to 31. If this is 32, this cage adds up to 32. But because these digits are the same, those digits must account for the 30 of the total. So they have to be 6, 7, 8, and 9. These two squares are 4 and 5. So that cage is now either 14, 15, 24, or 25. That digit is blue because it's not purple. So that digit is purple. That digit is unknown. That digit is blue. Oh, this is gorgeous. Actually, I've got to say, this is a brilliant puzzle so far. Look, where is blue in this box now? And blue can't repeat in its own cage, so that's blue. And I've got another. Now I've got a 1-2 pair in row 8. Blue is in one of those two squares in box 8, but by Sudoku of all things. Oh, yeah, lovely. Okay, do you remember right at the start we looked at green and we said that these two digits were the same as these two digits by geometry of box 6? Well, now that digit is a blue digit, so it can't be this one. So it's that one, which means we might as well get rid of green, actually, because we can just say those are the same and leave this. We now know these are the same. So, yeah, this is a beautiful Sudoku puzzle. Look now at where blue is in this box. Now, blue is not in that sort of T pentomino. Blue, oh no, I'm wrong. Sorry. I read this. For some reason in my brain, I thought this cage included both of these cells. It doesn't. So it's a little less constrained than I'd understood. I mean, orange can't be blue, because orange and blue are in the same box, or same column in box 6. No, okay, so I can't do that. Alright, let's try. Well, okay, where is purple in box 7? And I don't know exactly where it is, but it's in one of 2 places. Purple can't repeat, so purple is in one of 2 places in box 9 by Sudoku. Purple... No, well, it's true. Where is purple in box thingy? The technical term, thingy being the technical term for box 6. Purple is in one of these squares, because purple cannot be green, because green is in the same row as purple in box 5. Okay. So I want that to be blue. It's nearly blue, because you can see that blue in box 3 is in one of 2 places by Sudoku. Could that be if that's purple, that's purple, that's purple. Okay. We might have to think about totals to try and allocate these cages in a bit more of a structured way. So this is a 31 or 32, and it's indexing that one. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, there needs to be a 12k. No, there needs to be a 12. There needs to be a 12 pill, not 12 cage. There is a 12 cage, i.e. the digits in this cage sum to 12, but there needs to be a 12 pill to tell us that the total of this cage was 12. Where's that? It's not that one, because blue is not able to be here. It's not this one, because again, purple is not able to be here. There should be a pill that can be either blue and purple or purple blue. And that is there, I think. That one can't be. That one clearly can't be. That one can't be. That one can't be. That one can't be. That one can't. No, that can't be. That cannot be purple. This one can't be played. It's okay. So the only cage that the only pill that can be a 12. This is huge. This is huge. This must be a 12 cage. But that means blue must appear in this pill, and therefore blue must be there. But that means that we know blue is 1 wherever it appears. We know purple is 2 wherever it appears. Two is in one of those squares. 2 is in one of these squares. So one of those is purple. Purple 2. Oh, yeah, lovely. Right, where is 1 in box 9? And the answer, because 1 can't be orange, is there. But that knocks it out of this one and into this one, which means that's a 1. We've actually done all the 1s in the puzzle. So but we haven't done all the 2s. Let's try and do all the 2s. So we can do that 2. That's now got to be purple. That's now not purple. So this is a purpley 2. And we've got... Right, we've got an X-wing of 2s left outstanding. Okay. So now... what do we do now? I tell you what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do something that I find a little bit chromatically disappointing. I'm actually going to get rid of a lot. I'm going to get rid of all my purple colours, because what I want to do now is to try and track through which cages I've indexed. Now, I've indexed this one. These two, actually, it's really awkward, because I want to say this cage has been indexed by that, but then that one has indexed this one. This one has indexed that one. 32. Oh, 32 is that one, isn't it? 26 or higher here. There's a 26 cage or higher somewhere in the puzzle. Where's that? It's not there. Because obviously this could be an 8-9 pair, but that wouldn't get us to 26. The same is true there. Yeah, that's interesting. Look at those two 4-cell cages for a moment. They can't... In fact, both of those cages... Both of those cages sum to a teenage number. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, I can't actually fill either of these cages with 8 and 9, which would get them to 20, but that would imply that I have to write 20 into another pill, and I can't write 20 exactly into any pill. So these two need to be indexed by teenage number. So that could be a teenage number, that could be a teenage number, this could be a teenage number. Okay, so it's actually not very constrained. So where's this one going then? This I think might be the interesting one. 26 or higher. Well, that cannot be 26 or higher. It's only got, that could be a maximum of 8, 9. So that's got a maximum of 18. This has got a maximum of 19. That's got a maximum of 19. Oh, I see. So it's going to be... Ah, all right. It's not this one. Again, this 9 comes into play, I think. Yes. What's the maximum size of this cage here? Oh. And the answer, because it's got a 2 in it and a 1, and even if that's a 5, that's 8, isn't it? So, and then the other two digits can't be higher than an 8 and a 7. So that gives us 15 and 8, 23. So this can't add up to more than 23. So it's not being indexed by this one, which I think leaves this one as the only one. So this one indexes this one. Maybe if I make those both blue. So this is at least 26. These add up to 5. So these add up to at least 21. Oh, but that could just be 4, 8, 9. Bother. I think the technical expression is bobbins that we're looking for. Right. But okay. Yeah, this is interesting though. What is this number here? This is 23. This is really clever puzzle actually. This is one of these puzzles that may establish a genre. Because what we're learning here is that there needs to be a cage in this puzzle that sums to at least 23. Where does that go? We know it's not a pink cage or a purple cage, because they can't add up to enough. The only cage that could possibly... We know it's not the blue cage, because the blue cage is being indexed by this. So this is indexing the green cage, and the green cage we worked out a moment ago can't add up to more than 23. But this can't have as a pill less than 23. So this is 23. That's a 5. This is 2, 7, 8. The 2 doesn't go there. So this one, so let's, maybe I'll make that green. And get rid of the purple now. That might be a mistake, but that's what I'm going to do just pro tem. These squares are 4, 5 and 6 by Sudoku. So this square is a 7, 8 or a 9 by Sudoku. That's a 5. Why is that a 5? How did we get that? Oh, we got that because, yes, this needed to be maxed out. That's good. So that gives me a 4 here. Sorry, I wasn't thinking of that in the context of number, like this indexing something. I was thinking, how do I know this is 15? But I do know this is 15 because that had to add up to 23. So that means I get that digit as well. So 4 is in one of 2 places in box 1. There needs to be a 15 cage in the world. That's not that cage because that can't be big enough. So this cage actually, what's that number? This may be a better number to look at because that digit by Sudoku is a big digit. In fact, maybe that's actually, can we just do Sudoku? This digit here is at least a 6 by Sudoku because it sees 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So there is a 16 cage at least somewhere in the puzzle. Where's that? That's an interesting question. Because this cage, because this digit can't be more than 8, this cage can't add up to more than 14. But I need a 16 cage, which can't be this one itself. So does it have to be that one? I think that might be true. I'm not certain about that. This cage, I think, though, is linked intrinsically to that one. Because I can't see another cage that can get to this total. Okay, so right, I'm thinking about this in the wrong order then, aren't I? Because what we should be doing... Yeah, okay. So what we should be doing is say, well, what on earth indexes this total? Because if we think about valid totals for pills, we know that this is a teenage cage, and we know it can't be more than 14. Well, could it be a 10 cage? No, because you can't write 1, 0 into pills. Could it be an 11 cage? No, because we can't write 1, 1 into pills. It can't be a 12 cage. That there's only one of those, and that's here. Now, it could be a 13 cage, actually. But where would we put the pill for a 13 cage? And that does not exist. There is no opportunity to put that there anywhere. And the only other thing it can be is a 14 cage. And the only way it can be a 14 cage is if this is a 14. So this is a 14, and that is an 8. And that might not do anything. Well, it might not do anything beyond that. Bobbins a Rooney. What does that do for? I don't know. So that one is indexing this whole cage. There's a 15 cage somewhere. Oh, that's going to be this one, isn't it? Because nothing's indexed this cage yet. Now I'm worried I've missed a trick here. Is that correct? That could only be a 14 cage because of the possible pill totals, and the only pill I could make 14 was this one. So that does feel right. Now this being 15, or this pill being 15, that must be... So these two digits add up to 14, which means they don't include 7. So they're either a 6-8 pair or they're a 5-9 pair. And I'm not sure. That's not a 6 by Sudoku. Using this 6, the power of this 6. 6 is not the orange digit. So 6 is in one of those two squares, which means 6 is in one of these two squares. These squares actually... Oh, where's 8 in this box? And the answer is in one of two places. So that's not 8, which means that's not able to be 6. So this is... Oh, hang on. Now this is getting bigger, which I'm slightly worried about. Oh, well... Well, yeah, look at this column now. I've now got a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple, which means that can't be a 6, that has to be a 5. But these had to add up to 14, so that's a 9. Now that means this cage adds up to 19, but these add up to 3, so these have to add up to 16, which means these are a 7-9 pair, putting 6 in the corner. That means this square's an 8. This is lovely, isn't it? Now these squares are 7 and 9, so these squares become 6 and 8, which means that square's a 7. That square is a 2. That square is an 8. I should be able to do this digit. That has to be a 4 by Sudoku. So that means this is a 4 by Sudoku, this is a 4 by Sudoku, this is a 4. Oh, good grief. This is absolutely sensational. Who's doing a puzzle like this and not rating it 100%? I mean, I can tell you now that this... Oh, hang on. This 2 is doing work as well. That's a 2 now. This is a 6. This is a 7. This is a 3-8 pair. That digit is now known. That is a 5. Does that look right? It does look right. So 5 is now in one of those squares. So 5's in one of these squares. This row needs 5, 8 and 9. So that square is 5 or 9. That square is 8 or 9. And that square is 5, 8 or 9. 7, 9. This digit is a 6 by Sudoku. Right, we might just have to take stock here and make sure that we've understood everything. So we now know this cage is 26 or 28, and it's the sum of that cage. So if this was 26, these add up to 21. If this is 28, these would be 6, 8, 9, exactly, because they'd have to add up to 23. That might be possible. I'm not sure. These squares are a 7, 8, 9 triple now. And that's not 8. Okay. Is it going to be... Well... Where is... This is an interesting point. 6 in row 6 now. It can't be in these squares. And there's a 6 here apparently. So it's not in those squares. So it's in one of these, but it's not there. So there is a 6 in my blue cage now. But we know... Okay, and we know that the blue cage's total, or these 3 digits total, is either 23, so this would be 6, 8, 9, or 21. With a 6 in, which would mean the other 2 digits would have to be a 7, 8 pair. So we now know there's an 8 in here, which means this is a 6, 8 pair, because it's either 6, 7, 8 adding to 21, or it's 6, 8, 9 adding to 23. So this digit is either 7 or 9. And from that digit is... okay. So if we look at this column, we've got the digits 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 placed. Now, this digit by Sudoku, therefore, is 7 or 9, because it can't be 6 or 8. That gives me a 7-9 pair in the column, which means that square becomes an 8, which means that square becomes an 8, that square becomes a 6. So that means one of these two squares becomes a 6. Oh, sorry. Okay, so there is a linkage between that digit and that digit. They're one apart. So if that's 26, that's if that's 6, that's 7. If that's 8, that's 9. I can't see how to rinky-dink that quickly. Let's try 3, 7, and 9. That square. No, well, it is 3, 7, or 9 by Sudoku, but that definitely can't be a 5. That's definitely 3, 7, or 9 as well. Oh, could it be the orange digit then, maybe? So the orange digit... Yeah, well, the orange digit is not a 3. Because if it was a 3, the 3 would transpose here and clash. So this digit is at least 5. It's not 6. 5, 7, 8, 9 I want. It's not 8. It's got an 8 in its row. So 5, 7 or 9. That's 5, 7 or 9. Now can we rule out anything from that? Oh, I'm sure you can. Well, yes, you can. Okay, it's not 5, sorry, by Sudoku. The way I saw that is so bizarre. I saw that because I could see orange by Sudoku was in one of those squares and none of those squares was a 5. What I could have done is just said that's a 5. Right, so these squares are from 7 and 9 now, and that gives me a 7-9 pair. Oh, look, it does lots of things. I've got a 7-9 pair in row 7. So 3, 5, and 6 are the other digits. That's a 5 or a 6 then. And 3 only has one position. Oh, I could have done that by Sudoku. Silly Simon. Naughty Simon. There's a 7-9 pair in this column. So this seems to be a 5-8 pair. I can do this. Where's 8 in column 9? It has to be here. So that's a 5 in the corner. That's a 9. 7 is now the orange digit. So that's 7. That's 9. That feels like it's an enormous breakthrough. Is that? Am I? Oh, that's 9. So that's 8. So that's 6. That's 7. That's 9 by Sudoku. Yeah, this feels like that's really helped actually. Now that digit should be a 7, which means that's a 7 and that's a 9. That's a 7. That's a 9, that's a 3. Yeah, here we go. This is 3, this is 8. These squares are 8 and 6. These squares are 9 and 5. These squares are 3 and 5. Oh, the puzzle's done. Okay, the puzzle's done. There we go. That is beautiful. That is an absolute... How long has that taken me? 53 minutes. That's absolutely beautiful. So can we colour this somehow so that it's actually makes a bit more sense? In fact, let's just see if it's right. It is right. Let's click like the puzzle. But let's try and map it through. So this cage is mapping to that cage. That is true. Let's get rid of the green. That pill, 14, was mapping to that, wasn't it? That 23 is mapping to this. That 15, let's use red. That 15 was mapping to this. That 28 was mapping to that. That works. This 32 was mapping to that one, so that needs a colour. Let's make that yellow, so that's that cage. This 39 was mapping to that one, so that needs a colour. Make that grey, and therefore that becomes grey. And this 12 is mapping down there, so that's okay. So what should we make that one? I'm running out of colours a little bit. I'll make that brown. So that's, and then that goes brown. Something like that, I think is how it works. Isn't that, it's just brilliant. It's quite brilliant that solves. So in that, it was smooth. One of the comments was that it was smooth. I can't remember. Somebody said very good flow, very smooth. It is. It's really smooth, and it is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. CaptZebraCakes, take a bow. That is an astonishingly clever twist on Killer Sudoku. Let me know in the comments how you got on with that one. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.